What's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy Doe, back again with another reaction. We got B-ball breakdown. Are we sure Jokic is the MVP? To me, he should be unanimously the MVP of the 2021-2022 NBA season. Because he's just the best. Almost 50-point triple-double. Who's doing that? Embiid. You cold. I love Embiid. I'm not about to compare the two, but Jokic's passing game is so ridiculous. I have to be like, Jokic is the best big. Jokic's defense has improved so much. He's not a rim protector, but he's a paint protector. You come in Jokic paint, it's gonna be a contest. He putting a hand up. So his defense has improved. His playmaking is impeccable. Even with teammates that aren't even like, if we gonna be for real, this is worse than the Orlando Magic talent on this team. You take away Jokic, this is damn near the Orlando Magic. No cap. And he makes this team elite. If we were in the East, we're a top 3 seed. That's how good we are with Jokic. He's the MVP. Unanimous. But we're about to listen to B-Ball Breakdown explain to y'all how Jokic can get another MVP. But before we do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. For daily bangers, y'all see I had to put my Nuggets background, you know what I'm saying?
For some reason, not enough people are convinced he could win it again. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is nonsense, considering the crazy good numbers he's putting up on a nightly basis. But it's not just the points or the rebounds, it's his passing that sets him apart from anyone else at any size. And that's why I'm here to tell you that without a doubt in my mind, this guy is the MVP.
MVP Jokic. Give my MVP. I'm going to let him sleep. This is my MVP. Better than anybody
Let's
to
start with
lead.
his passing. If you want to be prepared for when he's going to get almost all his dimes, just wait till he gets it down low on the block. For reasons I'll explain in the bit, defenders have this incredibly foolish habit of turning their heads away from the ball when their man cuts to the basket, allowing Jokic to throw these softballs into a small window. And his teammates are so used to it by now, they don't even flinch when the ball comes.
Exactly.
Here it is again. The guy who feeds the post just wanders through the lane, minding his own business, and here, Siakam turns his head away from the ball, and that's what Jokic is waiting for as he leads him with the pass, and it's too late for the help to come.
Oh my God.
Attention NBA teams. Stop trying to double Jokic off the cutter's man before he starts to dribble. It's too easy for him to see it coming, and these catches come so close to the basket, there is no hope for the help to get there in time.
Boy, do you know we got the dunk contest god? Man, you see a cutting Eric Gordon, get out the way.
Jokic
get out the way
for spotting cutters after he's begun his move off the dribble. Mills is physical with a post feeder and stays in front, so now it's time for Jokic to do his dance moves. But based on this footwork, I don't think he intended to score, as he immediately spots Green cutting and uses his height advantage to throw the ball over his defender. Again, expertly leading the cutter right into the catch and layup, which is goaltending.
Hit the backboard, goaltend.
Here's one of the few real plays I saw them run to get Jokic a post up. Although the spacing is screwy, Gordon is trying to get Jokic's man out of position before the inside ball screen is set, but this action should happen closer to the midline of the court. Now watch Jokic circle around on the roll into a cross screen on the weak side. Pretty good defense by Blake, but nice pass to lead Jokic back towards the middle, and Jokic already knows that Gordon was on the block after screening for him.
Yes, sir.
The assist. Here's a similar play where they try to set up a post up by having Jokic inside ball screen on one side, then get a cross screen to the opposite side low block. Toronto does an excellent job defending this, but here's what Jokic is scanning. He knows Gordon will continue his cut to the basket, and Jeff Green will try and find the open space in the lane around the free throw line, all while Bones Highland is spotting up in the corner. Doubling off of Green's man would naturally indicate Green getting the ball. Jokic stares right at him as he brings the ball up high over his head. Remember, he's got a huge height advantage over OG. Scotty Barnes is lured to Green based on Jokic's eyes,
and he threw that down to AG.
No-look pass to the wide-open Gordon for a layup. If you're wondering why Nikola Jokic isn't getting enough credit for his monster MVP-like season so far, we can make a list, almost like we're keeping score. Number 1, he won it last year, so there's fatigue. 2, he plays in small market Denver. And 3, the team's record isn't stellar.
Nah, that shouldn't count against us, because Embiid, if we being for real, Embiid in the Sixers, right now, our record is 38-26. The Sixers are 39-24. And you're telling me, just because, okay, so they're second seed, but they only won one game more than us? And he gets the credit? The West is loaded. The East is weak. Yes, they got stars, but they're weak as fuck. Like, who cares about the Cavs or the Raptors or the Hornets? We know they're not winning anything. The East is top heavy still. It's not as loaded and stacked as they say. We know the Raptors and the Heat aren't going nowhere. We know the Hawks aren't going nowhere. We know the Wizards ain't getting in the play-in. We know the Cavaliers don't have enough manpower to get through anybody in the East. Even the Chicago Bulls might be a little iffy because they haven't beat a top team. Even though I think that's a little, all teams, it's like not every team is going to be good against the best teams. You obviously be under 500 against the best teams in the league. But they haven't won a game against the best teams. And you're telling me just because we're in the West, we get penalized for that? We get penalized for being one game below second seed in the East? We should be applauded. Luka Doncic should be applauded. The West is stacked. The East is weak. We know that. Come on now. Come on. That should not be penalized against us, bro.
Might hurt Jokic's chances to win again, and it's possible your credit score is causing problems in your life. That's where extra comes in.
Oh no!
It's the very first debit.
If they want to pay me, I hit them up.
I back all the way over off of his man in the weak side corner. What Jokic sees is Barton and Gordon spotted up and only Fournier between them. He does get some help from Morris, who's pointing to the corner, so without even looking, he throws a side pass like a laser with perfect precision right on the numbers to Gordon for a wide open corner 3. Another skip pass the Nuggets try to set up is cut the post feeder through while setting a flare screen for a weak side wing shooter. Morris already knows what's going to happen as he tells Gordon to bring the ball over to Jokic's side. Jeff Green is looking to screen while DiVincenzo gets lured to hell needlessly on the cover. Another surgical strike that hits Morris on the chin. All he has to do is let it fly. Another area of the court he lives at is the high post, with the same results. There's less defensive pressure up here, and Fournier turns his head and loses sight of the ball, so an easy drop-off pass gets Barton right to the rim for the lay-in. It's possible that this semi-awkward split step makes Hernan Gomez think he's not going to make a move in this position, but Morris is savvy, fakes a pin down for Gordon in the corner, and once he gets his right foot slightly below his defender, it's over.
It's already a pass.
Jokic can lead him right
Herb
to the cup for another
blind, buddy.
The handoff is a very common action the Nuggets use from the high post, and the threat of the player coming around such a big obstacle in Jokic and getting downhill for a layup is very real. As a result, the backdoor cut is set up perfectly. Notice how Barton gallops to his right, then lifts both feet in the air so he can land and explode backdoor. This is how everyone should utilize their feet when cutting backdoor, and Jokic has
no... Look at that bounce pass. Elite!
This is how everyone should utilize their feet when cutting backdoor, and Jokic has no problem slipping that ball through the smallest of windows to lead to the dunk. Again, Corey Joseph has his head turned away from the ball. Morris lifts both feet to split and go and is by his man and receiving a soft lead pass for an easy layup. Now let's talk about his threat to score as a post-up player. You need only look at the right block. And if I'm his defender, I'm most concerned about him using his left foot as the pivot and spinning baseline for all manner of soft finishes at the rim. He clearly feels most comfortable utilizing his left shoulder into the defender to get space, and it doesn't have to be a spin all the way down the baseline. He also has a beautiful jump hook with his left arm out in front to protect the ball. If the defender is smart enough to take away that spin, he shortens the step and can release it straight-armed over his head with just the flick of the wrist. And to make matters worse for the defense, he loves to use a left foot pivot to open up to the basket and shoot the open jumper from 15 feet. With the left foot as a pivot foot, the right leg clears a little more space to him as he faces up to the basket, making these practice shots from 12 to 15 feet.
No.
Now, to keep the defense honest, he will attack the middle with a left-handed dribble. And watch how he gathers the ball, then uses that right elbow underneath Cat's arm to get by him. The right foot steps outside of Cat's right foot as well, and that means game over for the defense. Both elbows flare out on the gather to protect the ball, making it harder for the refs to call an offensive foul unless there's a lot of overt contact. And his left hand has just as much soft touch as the right, so you won't see many dunks, just little finger rolls over the front of the rim. The last piece to his offensive puzzle is his outside shooting. He's at league average for three-point shooting and over 4-point attempts per game, and he generates a majority of his shots by getting a touch at the high post, then making a pass and replacing himself back behind the three-point line. Here's more of the handoff action we talked about earlier. With Bart,
that look a little Larry Birdie. Y'all seen that? That was a little Larry Birdie, right?
Back behind the three-point line.
We're going to be better than Larry Bird.
Here's more of the handoff action we talked about earlier. With Barton drawing so much of the focus coming around that Jokic screen, it generates the wide open three and he drops it in clean. Morris does the same as he drags the defense down with him on the handoff, and Jokic can softly drift out to the top of the key and shoot over the small that's switched onto him. So keep your eye on Jokic when he's patrolling the high post and either passes or hands off. Most of the time, you can bet he'll drift back behind the arc and look for a shot, and it's a great way to let the offense work for him, allowing his teammates to generate open looks for Jokic instead of the other way around. Another reason why he might not get the same MVP focus is that he doesn't hold the ball as much as the other superstars in the MVP discussion. While he leads the league by far in touches per game, his usage rate ranks only 12th, meaning he gives the ball up early and often to his teammates.
Stop it. Most efficient player ever. Come on now. He's more efficient than Durantula. And that's the greatest scorer possibly to ever touch a basketball. And Jokic is way more efficient than him. Jokic touched the ball. And he make magic happen. That's my MVP. That's my MVP. Come on now.
And that is borne out by his considerable lead in passes per game. And because he's not holding the ball longer and only passing it when his teammates have to shoot it, his assists per game are quote-unquote only at 7.9 per game. But this style has kept the Nuggets firmly in the top 10 in offensive rating, allowing guys like Monte Morris, Will Barton, and Aaron Gordon to look really good. I mean, there's a reason Aaron Gordon is having his best two-point shooting season by over 7 percentage points this year. I also have a fetish for the one-footed jump shot, and he's made the Sombor Shuffle into a signature jump shot of his. Most players would go off their non-shooting side, but Jokic instead jumps off the right foot, and while he's done it more in the past and only made one of these this year, it still makes me get out of my chair whenever I see it. Defensively, he has improved a lot from his early days, and the Nuggets need to be most concerned about his pick-and-roll defense since teams will surely attack him out of this action in the playoffs. One thing he's good at is deflecting pocket passes. His basketball IQ is so high.
Do you know what's going to be the problem? I mean, not for the Nuggets. When MPJ and Jokic, I mean, not MPJ and Jokic, MPJ and Jamal Murray come back, MPJ brings a lot of length to the team. Him and Aaron Gordon will bring a lot of length on a defensive end. Aaron Gordon has been playing great defense. He's been pretty solid this year. Adding Michael Porter Jr. and all his intangibles, this team's defense is going to get a lot better. No cap. So I'm not worried about Jokic pick and roll defense. I know we don't got the personnel and we're not at the right time to beat all the teams. But guess what? If they had to beat the Warriors or had to beat the Suns, you can't say without a doubt either one of those teams could easily beat them in a 7-game series.
He knows how to read the ball handler's eyes and also how to position himself so that his long arms can get into the passing lanes for deflections and steals. As the competition gets better deeper into the playoffs, these steals are a lot harder. But his presence here definitely keeps ball handlers alert and forces them to be on point or else risk a bad turnover.
Give me that.
Where he's also good is at angling ball handlers into tough positions, so he can move enough to cut off the attacker and lead him into spots where he can challenge easier, normally to the edge of the lane or out of it entirely, and then baiting them into taking the dreaded long two-point shot that the Nuggets are perfectly happy to give up. However, he really struggles with the fast guards who can get downhill before he can angle them into a different direction.
That's understandable. We've seen that Embiid can't guard guards either, so that's understandable. He gets beat, but the difference between Embiid and Jokic getting beat by guards is Embiid can block shots. He's a rim protector. He can be a rim protector. So him getting blocks on small guards is more common because that's the type of thing he does. But Jokic, I told y'all, is a paint protector. He's not Rudy Gobert. That's why Rudy Gobert's elite. He's a paint protector and a rim protector. He gets you at the rim. He contests you in the paint anywhere within this. Gobert's hands up. Jokic, hands up. You know what I'm saying? That is what makes him elite. But Gobert can get here too. Gobert gets anywhere around here. So that's what makes him elite. Jokic can get here. He might get a couple blocks here and there. But his defense has improved a lot.
There's lots of evidence of his inability to not only keep up with the quickness, but also ineffective with his challenges at the rim, where a guy like Embiid might have the athletic explosion to recover for a block shot. Jokic does not have this ability.
What did I just say? I told y'all Larry Bird should have hired me to be the scout for the Pacers.
In the end, if you want to point to a stat that clearly shows why Jokic is the MVP, it's his on-off advanced numbers. No one is even close to this big of a difference for his respective team. And if you choose to say that the MVP is the most valuable player for his team, then no one is more valuable than Nikola Jokic.
Big Yoke. Stop. It's not Jokic. It's Big Yoke. Stop it. It's Big Yoke. Jokic is MVP. It's not really a debate. It's either Embiid or Jokic. Jokic looked like he might be running away with it with the addition of MPJ and Jamal Murray coming back in a couple weeks. That's going to be ridiculous, and that's just going to add to it. Embiid has struggled a little bit getting his shot off the past 2 games. The next game, he got to the free throw line a lot, but Jericho Sims and Mitchell Robinson made him work for it. No doubt about that. The Heat made him work for it, most definitely. But Jokic, he's just different. You can't, it's not making him work for it. Jokic gonna do whatever he want. And he not gonna break a sweat. He gonna do what he want. And that's why he my MVP, bro. He the greatest player in the league right now, besides LeBron James. And that is all that matters. Let me know how y'all feel about the MVP race. Who do y'all got in as a front runner for MVP in the comment section, man? Besides that, I'm out of here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip.